Salary is a painkiller and not a treatment to your problem. If you are a guy on a mission to be a wealthy individual to create wealth, then using salary as the channel or a vehicle to take you there, it's the wrong procedure. You know why? Salary has never been, it will never be a vehicle to take your wealth, or rather to take yourself to the wealth creation. What exactly do I mean by that point? Perhaps this is the first time you've never heard of that. All what you need to do is just relax, listen to this video, watch this video to the end so that you understand exactly why salary is a painkiller and not a treatment to your problem. Alright, and guess what? I always post a video each and every day. If you don't want to miss any good of my videos where I talk about ways on how you can invest, how to make money online and such kind of things, then consider this place a home. All what you need to do, it's free and it is fast. Just down below there on your right, there is a button written subscribe. Hit that magical button, then give this video a thumbs up. As simple as that, and then the YouTube will notify you. All right, so let's get into this business. Now, what do I mean by a salary is a painkiller to your problem or to your financial problem and not a treatment? You know what happens? A salary is the dream killer. What happens once you get paid is like you shut. In the middle of you working that specific month, you have a lot of things. By the way, do you know one thing, that whenever you are at the middle of each and every month, you tend to have a lot of ideas like, once I get this salary of this month, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to invest, this is the much I'm going to save, this is... You get all those things, but the moment you get that salary, it's like you shut. You don't even think beyond that specific salary. All what comes in is to get back into that specific job for another month, you get another salary, and then by the time you realize you're 30 years or 40 years in that specific employment, and then when you're getting out, you've never tried any business, you've never tried any investment, you don't have any investment. All what you had is a loan to build your own home. Amazing thing, you've brought up your kids, you've schooled them and all that kind of a thing. So you just end up being just a middle or sometimes even lower incomer. So you know why? Because salary has never been a vehicle or a channel to take you to the wealth destination. And this is what you're supposed to know or do. One thing that you're supposed to understand with the salary is that it is meant to cater for your basic needs. And when I say the basic needs here, I mean, guess what? Things are classified into 3 categories. I bet I've been sharing this like a million times. Let me add 1,000,001 times. You know why I mean that? That is because things are classified into 3. We have what we call the must have, we have what we call the nice to have, or rather good to have, and we have what we call the nice to have. Those 3 classification of things, everything falls under that. And the salary is meant to cater for your must have. That's for a fact. If the salary is catering for your nice to have, then you're using the wrong formula. What do I mean by what is a must-have? A must-have, of course, you know, is the food, the shelter, and the clothing. You cannot negotiate with those 3 things. No matter how, how mean you are, how frugal you are, how minimalist you are, you can never negotiate with those 3 things. You must eat. Even if it's a cheap one, you must eat. You must dress, and you must at least have a place where you call a home. All right? So those are the things that the salary should actually meet at the very basic thing immediately after getting your salary. But the problem is this. There you are, you get yourself like a 60,000 salary or 70 or 100,000 or even more than that, and then there you are, you have yourself an iPhone, I don't know, 14 Pro Max, whatever they call them. You have yourself a high-end car that you actually took it that using a loan that you're repaying using your salary. And let me tell you one secret. The problem that you getting a loan, the problem is not you getting a loan, but channeling that loan and getting a vehicle just for the logistical purposes, doesn't have any income purposes or anything that's generating new money, and then you're thinking, quote unquote, you're saving yourself the transport fare and whatever. Let me tell you one thing. The car needs maintenance, the car needs fuel, the car needs all those kind of things. All right, and first up, and the other thing, the nail on the coffin is that the car depreciates in terms of the value. So that exactly tells you that thing is a liability. Unless you're getting that car for the purposes of investment. If maybe let's say during the weekend you do something that actually earns you money, then you're talking a different language. So the point is this. Getting your salary at the end of the month, what you're supposed to do with it is that make sure that you set aside a certain percentage. And I always propose 20% of it towards saving with the purpose of investing, so that you can generate another source of income and you proceed to the next level. All right. So, but if you rely on your salary and believe like just because I'm earning myself 100,000, 200,000, then my future is secured. Yeah, I know this is what you've been taught since you were a young kid. When you went to school, you were taught to get good grades, get yourself a secure job, and then you get married, and that's how your life will be. That is not the truth. It's a wrong formula to get yourself out there. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine somebody who is driving a car worth 20 million Kenyan shillings? Imagine that individual has 20 million for a car. Out you are there, and you're trying to get a loan for 5 million to at least own a home. That's applying a wrong formula. The point is this: getting yourself a salary at the end of the month only gives you a chance, a step ahead compared to the unemployed one. You can actually use that money, transform yourself, change yourself to the next level. And guess what? This salary that you usually get at the end of the month, it's usually enough to make sure that you cater for your basic needs so that you can come back to the job and work for these bosses. That's for sure. And this is what the society tells you. Like, you know what, a job is far much secured compared to you starting a business. And then you forget one thing: that place where you work or where you are employed as an individual owning a business. Then if that's the case, then if job are more secure than that, then that individual who employs you should be also being employed somewhere. And that's the reality. If you were to borrow or buy that specific idea or mentality or approach as far as the life is concerned, then you can try to imagine or guess where we can head in terms of our society. So this is the thing. I'm not saying that you go ahead and resign from the job and say, like, I don't want that because Joseph said you cannot get rich with salary. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: just understand very well, whatever you're getting paid at the end of the month, whatever the period, that money is enough to cater for your basic needs, just to make sure that you survive. You can be able to educate your kids now to reduce the stress. You can be able to pay for your house rent. Of course, you wake up in the morning and come to my job where I've employed you, and of course you work maximally. I get the maximum out of you because you're relaxed. And of course you must have taken your supper, and probably you've taken your breakfast. Then you're okay, so that you can be more productive to my company. That's the reality. That's the thing that you're supposed to understand when it comes to salary. Say you get paid like 30,000, 100,000. This is the point: you never make that amount of money for your company. If you're employed and you're being paid 100,000, you don't make 100,000 for that company. You make at least 2 or 3 or 4 times that amount of money, because if you make 100,000 then they pay you 100,000. It's like you're taking home whatever you're making, or all of what you're making. The point is this: it's always good to make sure that you understand very well how these mathematics, how this economics, how these statistics works. Otherwise, if you don't understand, you're gonna think that you get yourself like 100,000, 200,000, you are safe, you're secured, you're okay, but you're not. That's a reality. It's applying the wrong formula. Or what I say, the salary is good, it's an amazing thing, gives you a kickstart compared to others, those who do not have money. But compared to those who have invested and those who have employed you, then you're using the wrong formula. All what you need to do is that inculcate the culture of saving. And by the way, do not just save. Again, you cannot be able to get yourself into riches with only savings. Nobody has ever done that. Maybe politicians. Anyway, the point is this: one thing that you're supposed to understand is this: inculcate the culture of saving inside of you. Get a certain percentage of the money. I recommend 20%, and if it is possible, move that percentage towards 40%. That is the only way that you can grow yourself towards accumulating. And actually, the best term to use when it comes to saving is accumulating, or storing money. And once you raise that amount of money to a certain percentage, or rather certain amount, now it's qualified to be called a capital. You take it towards investment. Now you want yourself a passive income. Now propagate on that passive income. You raise it to a point whereby it's equivalent to the amount of money that you usually get paid in a conventional job. And that way you're secure that if you know one day you can be shown the door and you're told you're fired, then you can be able to rely on your passive income, because now you've upgraded your passive income to a point where it's making equivalent money to that of your job. And that is not where we share the dream. The dream is to get that passive income way beyond that specific amount of money that you usually get where you are employed. All right, so and then when you reach that particular point, now you can contemplate of you resigning from your job, concentrating on your business and growing yourself to the next level. Because the amazing thing with you having yourself employed is this, or starting yourself a business. I understand there are risks involved. That's for a fact, because if no risks, then you're not winning, and dares are the winners. All right, quitters are never winners. One thing that the most amazing thing about the jobs, or rather creating yourself a business, is that there are chances of that growing to a different or higher level and actually making you more money. Can you imagine this? If you're employed, let's say you're a teacher, if you underwork or overwork, the money remains the same. That's for a fact. Unless you guys, you have the funny things that usually call the remedial teaching and what have you, I don't know, those kind of a thing. Let's say you're a doctor, unless you do your things, the amount of money you get remains constant. And if basically you get rather a salary increment, I don't know, after 2 years or 1 year or whichever the period of time. If you compare the rate at which your business can grow and increase the amount of money that you earn compared to how much you get in terms of increment in your business, then of course that thing is not directly proportional. It's actually not proportional. You find that the business, as much as it has its own risks attached to it, then the amount of money that can actually increase in terms of your income is far much higher compared to that amount of money that that you get increased from your job. That's for a fact. Or what you're given from your job after you becoming the best employee, you get some the best accolades out there. You get the best employee award that now cannot even transform or change your life like fully or something of sort, just to massage your ego and be able to lift your tail, provide the much what we call the much effort to that specific job, so that you make them more money as much as you can. So my point is this: it's always good to understand this, that salary has never been a treatment to your problem or financial problems, to be specific, but it is a painkiller. It just heals that problem that you have. It pays your rent, it pays you for your food, it dresses you, takes your kids to school, but does not solve the ultimate problem that you have inside of you. You're not you're not financially secured, you don't have what we call the financial freedom and such kind of a thing. So the only thing that can win you that is when the money works for you. All right, is when the money works for you. Whenever you know that even if you don't wake up in the morning, you're gonna get the money at the end of the day. That is the point now you can say you're now heading towards the road of what we call the financial security. So at that specific point, that and the only that, we say that now you are heading on the road where you can be able to create wealth. All right, so anyway guys, if you've managed to watch this video up to this particular point and you're wondering who is this guy, my name is Joseph. Talk about money, talk about investment, anything related to your money in your pocket. All right, I direct you, I show you where to put it and how to put it, so that at least we can grow ourselves to the next level. I realize we have a very big problem when it comes to financial literacy, because this information is never taught in schools. But guess what? Here with my good Joseph channel, if you can just become a member for a just very simple way, for subscribing and liking this video, commenting down below, tell me what you think, because I'm a believer, just like an iron sharpens another iron, so do we learn from each other. Tell me what you think, and from that we can be able to grow each other to the next level. Don't forget to as well grab my number from the comment section, rather not comment section, but rather the description of this specific video. Give me a call. I offer financial literate, or rather financial consultation services. I offer business consultation and also guidance and such kind of a thing for just a cup of coffee. As well, you can grab my booklets about investments, business ideas, business plans, and what have you for only $220. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.